Hi, and welcome to today's Lol Esports Round Up, where we're going to cover the news of the last week as well as preview tomorrow's World 2022 Finals. If you missed it earlier today, I did a channel update video that goes over my plans for the off season. So if you missed it, that's there. Down in the description, there is Twitter, Discord, YouTube memberships. Twitter, follow me there. If you don't, you would have, if you did, you got the link to my video earlier today. Discord, join us. We talk about league as it goes on, free agency, all that jazz. And then YouTube memberships, $3 a month. You get a badge in the comment section that supports me and keeps the channel alive. $10 a month supports me even more. You get extra content, mainly NFL American football content, a couple times a week through the off season because league is done, right? There's just this. And then after that, there's no prediction videos to make for members only. So if you really value my prediction for who wins finals, that's going to be $10. But otherwise, $10 a month just helps me and allows me to keep continuing to do this and provide you daily content. So now that's all out of the way. News. I do not get into rumors. I can't stress that enough. These verbal agreements and all that jazz, I cannot believe that league teams are literally this rat infested that they leak everything. All of their ships would sink. The way that they leak, all of the ships would sink. I cannot believe how the orgs, the agents, and the players just love to leak all this. The orgs are either, the orgs have to be upset because, I guess this is news related, right? And it's a little bit of my opinion. Sponsors have to be ticked. Teams have to be ticked. You lose the hype of your roster reveal, which loses you views, loses you impressions. Your sponsors aren't going to be happy because now they don't do it, and all this is being released. So if you are an org, I don't know why you aren't trying to find the rat in your team and remove them. Or in your team, it doesn't have to be a player, it could just be somebody in the org in general, or the agent, and tell the agent, what are you doing? You are screwing the player and you are screwing me. So now in the future, this is going to affect our negotiations going forward. I don't understand it. You want to be treated like a pro sport, but it's like Mickey Mouse and how they handle free agency. Tampering must be legal because how are players that aren't officially given the option to go seek out another team for a buyout signing contracts before their contract's up? That would be tampering in any pro sport. So if you want to be treated like that, so be it. If you want money invested like a pro sport, you're going to have to do that. If you want, it just isn't. It's mind-boggling. So, the news. Immortals. Nightshare is out. He left 9-27 last year as the coach. So, Immortals didn't give him the best lineup to work with. But nevertheless, 9-27, he's out. Robert Yip is the only player on the, only person on the staff that has former coaching experience, according to Leaguepedia. He was a coach in 2017 and 2018. 2 total splits going 20-16, I believe, with Immortals and Echo Fox. I'm not 100% certain about that. I think Immortals is definitely one of the 2 splits. Don't recall the second one. 20-16 overall. I really doubt he's the coach. So it's going to be somebody from outside the org. Speaking about rumors, so G2, Flackett is officially looking for options, according to Leaguepedia, according to his Twitter. This has been rumored ever since, even before the Yanko stuff became official, but it's official now. Flackett, 2.4 KDA, 896 CS per minute, 65.5 KP at Worlds. Obviously left a lot on the table at Worlds, but we expected that. We expected him to struggle. It's not a shock at all. Now, him being booted. So G2 obviously is a big org that wants to improve and constantly be at the top because that's G2. So this is not about Flackett as much as it is about G2 wanting to perform very well. I think Flackett deserved a longer leash from the org and fans, to be fair. 29-1 kill share, 23-8 gold share, 5 champions in 6 games. I thought I was fair with him going into it, that I thought that he's not being compared to World's players, he is not that great, right? He wasn't at their level, but he is a rookie. We saw how well he did in spring and at MSI, well, MSI specifically. So there is something there. He is a rookie. Now, who knows what's going to happen to him? And people are going to say, oh, well, you know, but he stunk. Yeah, he did. He did stink, but he was a rookie. So, I mean, it's not like G2 we're in Group C where Rogue were, and we're playing Vietnam and a top team that was imploding. Like G2 had to play against Damwon, Kia, and JDG. And then their easy games were against EG. Like, I don't know. I think Flackett is getting a little more heat than he deserves for his performance. Fred at Brion, a team that I definitely give a lot of heat to. Fred at Brion is the team it's not Fred at Brion themselves, it's just the way they play that irritates the hell out of me. Umpty is out, 242 KDA, 508 CS per minute, 70.5 KP. This team plays extremely slow. So slow. So slow. And the jungler definitely could be part of that. They're the one that's supposed to be making things happen. He's farming at a 5 CS per minute, so that's not good enough. Especially with 70 KP. The way I viewed Summer, 5.25, 70 KP. Given the meta was more dog jungler oriented, you know, carry numbers 5.5 to 6 CS per minute weren't a thing, right? So 70 KP, but 5, like one has to be higher here. 17.6 kill share, 17.5 gold share, 8 champions of 39 games. Fred at Brion were a mess. They swapped out everybody pretty much. So, I mean, I don't really, I mean, like I said, you blame the jungler, and yeah, they're the one that's supposed to make things happen, but I think it is also a deeper problem than the players on the Rift. I think it is an ideal, it's not ideal, it's the idea of how the coaching staff wants Fred at Brion to play the game that's the problem. Raptors is backup, 2.83 KDA, 499 CS per minute, 74.8 KP in Challenger. That is not good enough. Raptor did well, I think, in spring, if I recall correctly, and he got a look in the LCK. He had 3 games, but I wasn't going to put those stats on here. I actually wrote them down and erased them and went with the Challenger stats because I was like, 3 games isn't enough, especially given the fact the way that he played in Challengers. This is not good enough. So, Raptor I don't think is the answer either. 18.4 kill share, 17.8 gold share, 7 champions in 20 games. That has to be better. You can't have under 5 CS per minute at the highest, one of the highest levels. And not only that, it wasn't at the highest level. So your competition is not the LCK level. Like, you're not against Canyon and Owner and Pioshik. You're against Challenger level players. So that's got to be better. Now, probably why you're here, T1 and DRX, the finals. Week 5, day 4 was the last time they played. That was in summer in the LCK. They did not play in the playoffs. T1 would win 2-0, Faker 7-2 and 17. If you missed the last 4 days worth of content, I broke down each matchup for the players and went over. I rewatched this series 4 times. At least the laning phase 4 times. And the thing that came through was the fact that bot lane was a lot closer than people want to admit. Now, both lanes out of T1 were Draven lanes. I do not expect a Draven lane this weekend. But DRX won lane hard in the 4th game. I mean, sorry, 4th game, because I was including both round robins. The 2nd game of this series, DRX won that lane hard. I think it was Aphelios Nautilus was there against Draven Pike. So I don't expect Draven Pike, but Aphelios Nautilus is in question. And actually looking at all 4 games between T1 and DRX, the DRX bot lane in summer did get the better of T1's. Now, I said it yesterday, and I've said it multiple times. T1's confidence really wasn't there. The meta wasn't great for them in summer. DRX, took advantage of that. Callista in the first round robin was very good for them, and they did well in the second round robin. And I think that's the way DRX will have to win. So it's kind of weird because at this point in the event, with the way Guma and Carry are playing, they look unstoppable. And people are going to say they're unstoppable. And I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. They look very, very good, right? But looking at this matchup and looking at the history of how these two teams played, that's the matchup that could actually be flipped and DRX could win it again. They could. I don't think it's improbable. They did it 4 games in a row. I mean, at 15 minutes, they had a lead in all 4 games, if I'm pretty sure, or 3 of 4 in summer. So I don't think people are giving DRX a fair shot when they look back at it, which I didn't for a very long time. I mean, I'm self-admitting. I had DRX losing throughout this whole event. I've said that 4 or 5 times now. So, you know, that's a thing. So, mid lane, obviously, people are going to be surprised. Why aren't you putting Zeka and Faker in there? Oh my god, it's Faker and Zeka. Zeka's playing so well, and Faker is playing so good too, and he's the greatest of all time, and yeah, yada, yada, yada. Okay. I don't think that's going back and forth. I think that those 2 mid laners, Faker is probably going to play the way he did against JDG. He's going to play Galio. He's going to play Ryze. He's going to get out of lane. He's going to make things happen. Zeka, on the other hand, is going to try and dominate lane. So I expect Zeka to get a lead in lane. Now, what he does with that lead remains to be seen. Right? Can he execute on that lead? He is not going to run over Faker like he did Scout in the last game of their series. That's not going to happen. So, that's the thing. Like, it's 2 different players trying to do 2 different things. And if DRX tries to play that roaming style with T1, I think DRX are in trouble because Zeka clearly is playing better on this meta than if it was Galio, Ryze, and Taliyah and things like that. Top lane, Zeus favored. Kingan's playing well, but Zeus is very, very, very talented. I'm giving that to Zeus. Owner and Pyosik, I might give it to Pyosik right now if Graves is left up because Owner is good, but I think Pyosik's Graves is better than anything Owner has right now. And that's the thing. So you ban that. Maybe we see a Maokai back out here. Do we see Maokai Silas on a side? I don't know why Maokai is gone. Maokai is undefeated when it's not against Silas. And people are banning Silas anyways, so play the Maokai. Doesn't make any sense. So that's kind of how I feel about the T1 DRX matchup. My prediction will be members only for those still subscribed to that. But that's the way I view this series going into it. That's my preview. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube member. And like I just said, thank you for watching.